In today's video, I want to highlight how you can grab Black Desert Online for free, and that's by pre-registering for Black Desert Mobile. There's a little bit of work you gotta do, but it's relatively straightforward, so we'll highlight that. Also, JRPG fans, take note, Ys 9 Monstrum Nox Western release teased by Falcom, so it does seem like this game will be coming to the West. And I do want to highlight two upcoming PlayStation 4 games. Where the Water Tastes Like Wine is coming to PS4 on November 29th, and Wattam is launching on December 17th. We'll talk that at the end of this video. And before we get into everything, I just want to remind you guys to make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification icon so you are always notified of uploads. And that definitely helps out the channel too, so we always appreciate that. First up, Black Desert Online is a little bit notable of a PlayStation 4 release. It came out on the PS4 relatively recently, and free Black Desert Online available by pre-registering for the mobile version. The press release states, to celebrate all pre-registrations through the official website for Black Desert Mobile, will reward visitors with a free copy of Black Desert on supported consoles or PC. It continues by noting the offer is only while stocks last, so be sure to get in quickly or risk missing out. Here's some details on the game in case you aren't up to speed with Black Desert. The Black Desert franchise spans across PC, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and mobile platforms with over 20 million registered users and availability in more than 150 countries. Black Desert Mobile offers the same fast-paced action combat and detailed character customization that players have come to expect on PC and console, with support for English, German, French, Spanish, Russian, Thai, Indonesian, Chinese, and Chinese traditional languages. Experience an open-world MMORPG filled with relaxing life skills and more, including character classes, where you can choose from 5 classes: Warrior, Ranger, Giant, Witch, or Valkyrie. Pick from Masters or Melee combats to those who attack from afar or with range, or select a magic-based class for offensive and defensive skills. Combat has a deep combat system. Customization is a big element of the game. Life skills, leveling, in-depth gameplay. There's a lot to dissect out of Black Desert Online, and I know that some are against paying the $30 or whatever it was, and some do also see the game as incredibly grindy, and it is a very grindy game, but nonetheless, if you have some interest for it, now would be a good time to check it out. Alright, moving on from that, PlayStation 4 exclusive Ys 9 Monstrum Nox will be released in the West at some point. Back in September, Falcom announced traditional Chinese and Hangul locations for Ys 9 Monstrum Nox. A few days ago, Falcom also published its latest financial earnings and plans for the future. These plans once again mention Chinese and Korean releases of Ys 9, and those are coming soon. However, the documents also mention that Ys 9 Monstrum Nox will be coming sooner in other regions as well. Falcom also mentioned that they will, quote, continue releasing their games worldwide in Japan, North America, Asia, and Europe, with a focus on the Ys series and the Trail series. A little while ago, it was noted that Ys 9 Monstrum Nox's Western release wasn't planned at that point. However, now it seems like things have shifted and they were focused on finishing the game first. Despite that, it was obvious that the game at some point would be coming to the PlayStation 4 over here in the States because of Ys 8's success over here stateside, and those games have done relatively well, all things considered. I mean, Ys is never going to be a franchise that sells at the level of some of the big budget Western franchises or a series like Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts. However, it can carve its own fan base and become a relatively successful franchise, and that's kind of what you're seeing what Ys has developed into, and there's definitely a lot of room for growth, because for a long time I wouldn't consider a series like Persona to be a franchise that could resonate at a mainstream level, but obviously you see with Persona 5 and where that's gone, that's been a gigantic success, and Ys 9 going into the future, I could see it developing a larger fan base as well. Again, it's going to take time before it's recognized as one of the mainstays in JRPGs. I think to the audience that knows what Ys is and what it's all about, it's already at that level. However, it doesn't have that mainstream penetration just quite yet. In the same documents, Falcom also stated that older games in the Trail series will be upgraded and coming to PlayStation 4 as Kai versions, heavily hinting at PlayStation 4 remakes of the older Trails titles, which would be really cool to see. I feel like Trails is another franchise that has gained a lot of steam over here in the West after the successful releases of Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel, and those have been received really, really well. If you continue to build upon that with consistent releases, I think that's the issue that a lot of these games really miss out on, is that they'll release a couple of games, they'll do okay, they'll receive pretty well from a critical standpoint, but maybe sales aren't top-notch, but you have to build upon that, you have to make the releases consistent, and if you want to, you know, marginalize the wait time before games by remaking older games, if that reduces development time, well, just getting that consistency and continually releasing games over here in the States, I think will pay dividends. Whatever the case may be, As far as Ys 9 goes, it was released exclusively for PlayStation 4 back in September 26th to be exact in Japan, and I imagine a Western release will be coming sometime next year. Ys 9 was relatively well received in Japan, so if you were a fan of Ys 8, that I know a lot of you guys were, I imagine that the game will deliver over here in the States. As long as the translation is on point, you really can't ask for much more, and I think Ys 9 will be a quality title, a little bit more darker than your typical Ys title, but a lot of the quality elements that you know and love out of Ys. Next up, for those of you that love story-driven games, you'll want to know that the narrative adventure game Where the Water Tastes Like Wine, which first launched for PC in February of 2018, is now coming to PlayStation 4 on November 29th. Where the Water Tastes Like Wine is noted to be a narrative adventure game about traveling, sharing stories, and surviving manifest destiny. Where the Water Tastes Like Wine is a narrative adventure game featuring gorgeous hand-drawn illustrations. Where the Water Tastes Like Wine combines 2D visuals with a 3D overworld US map. You wander across a folkloric Depression-era United States at your own pace, meeting strangers with their own stories to tell. Through these interactions, players will be able to collect unique stories which can then be retold to unlock new interactions. In this way, in-game stories themselves act as a currency to progress through the game, and it's up to the player to pair the right story with the unique needs of each of the characters that you will encounter throughout your travels. Only through these right pairings will characters reveal their true selves and bestow you with their most powerful stories, the true ones which reveal something about their own lives. In Where the Water Tastes Like Wine, stories organically take on a life of their own as they grow larger and transform as they are told and retold. Very interesting story-driven title, and again, it'll be hitting the PlayStation 4 on November 29th. Has a really cool aesthetic and presentation style as well, so that's definitely a standout to me. Definitely not going to be a game for everyone. However, again, if you do like more story-based titles, this one is going to be right up your alley. And lastly, how about this? Wattam is coming to the PlayStation 4 on December 17th for $19.99. Now, this probably is a game that a lot of you haven't heard about. However, it's from the creator behind Nobi Nobi Boy and Katamari Damacy, and now we have Wattam. Long ago, a huge explosion blasted the world of Wattam across the galaxy, helped the mayor build stacks and change with characters like Sushi, Flower, Cloud, and Poop to create joyful, colorful explosions that will guide the diaspora of Wattam back home. You'll make new friends, experience joyful explosions, have endless adventures, and explore awesome music. This is a game that you probably shouldn't take all too seriously. However, Wattam is one of those games that I think is gonna be an incredibly charming game, and if you played Katamari Damacy and you know what that game's all about, that really paints me to be very excited for Wattam. And the mayor invites you to explore the colorful world of Wattam and bond with over 100 unique and carefree characters. The connections you form open a treasure chest of possibilities, playing, switching, stacking, climbing, chasing, floating, exploding, and or dancing, all in the name of fun. The mayor loves creating colorful explosions. The more joyful the explosion, the more characters will come and play. Discover what's possible when you abandon all preconceived notions about what it means to play in games, learn about the different origins of Wattam's citizens, then work together with them to solve weird puzzles, celebrate special events, and explore your imagination to its fullest. Explore awesome music. Each character in Wattam has their own unique melody. Characters can also chain together to create whimsical mashups. A game that's incredibly charming, and I think they got it right with the pricing of $19.99. This really isn't the type of game you can get away with a $39.99, $49.99, God forbid, $60 price point. However, as a smaller, charming, downloadable title at $20, I think it'll be a lot more captivating of a pickup, especially at this time where there are so many games coming out. You do want to price your games a little bit lower so it's a little bit less of a hindrance to people's wallets, whatever the case may be. It's out on December 17th, so it's kind of after that wave of major game releases, so this one will come out during a more quiet time. December usually isn't a month for major game releases, and you kind of see that comparatively speaking to December coming up to November, October, September. December is pretty quiet, and it'll give us a little bit of a reprieve before heading into January where things really pick back up once again. But nonetheless, Wattam is out on December 17th, and that's gonna conclude this video. Again, I know a lot of you guys aren't all on board with Black Desert Online, but you can get a free copy if you pre-register for Black Desert Mobile. You can get it on any platform, so if you don't want it on PS4, you can get it that way as well. And the offer is only available while stocks last, so hopefully by the time you guys are seeing this video, there are still a decent amount of copies available. Imagine a lot of you guys will see it and pick up copies, so hopefully they last for a little bit. Ys 9 Monstrum Nox Western release, teased by Falcom. Hopefully that'll be coming sometime in 2020. And again, Where the Water Tastes Like Wine is coming to PS4 on November 29th, and Wattam is coming to PS4 on December 17th. Two interesting titles there. That's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.